Welcome all of you to the online class of biology once again. So children, today we are going to study chapter 7, structural organization in animals. So before starting the lesson, I would like to give you the portions of midterm examination. That is, we have studied. So in unit 1, that is diversity of living organisms, I have explained you some topics of chapter 1, that is up to binomial nomenclature. Okay. Then chapter 2, that is biological classification, that all the topics are there. Then chapter 3, plant kingdom. Chapter 4, animal kingdom. Okay, so these are the chapters from unit 1, and the portions which I have taught through the videos, that only you have to study. Okay, then unit 2, structural organization in animals and plants. In that, okay, chapter 5, the chapter 5 was morphology of flowering plants. In that, you have to study the portions that I have taught you. Okay, so you need not to study about the stem modification, root modification, leaf modifications, etc. You have to start from inflorescence, okay, then flower, and then you have to study 2 families. Okay, then chapter 6 is deleted from this year, deleted for this year, okay, from your syllabus. And chapter 7 I am going to teach you now. In that, you have to study only the tissues, animal tissues you need to study, and what morphology, anatomy and functions of different system, that you need not to study. The topics which I am teaching you, that only you need to study. And from chapter unit 3, cell structure and functions, so from that unit, chapter 8, cell the unit of life, and in that you have to study till the structure of prokaryotic cell, that is 8.4, that is prokaryotic cell. Then you can see that 8.41, cell envelope and its modification, and then you can see 8.42, ribosomes and inclusion bodies, and then 8.5, that is eukaryotic cell. So up to here, okay, up to this portions, that is before 8.51, cell membrane I will teach you afterwards. So till this you will have to learn. Okay, page number 131, cell the unit of life, that is the next chapter. Okay, so this much you will have to learn. Is it clear? Chapter 8, how much I taught? 8.5, okay, eukaryotic cells. And here the difference is given between plant cell and animal cell. So up to this you will have to learn for your midterm examination. Hope you understood the topics clearly. Okay, so structural organization in animals, in this chapter we need to study about the animal tissues. So what do you mean by tissue? Tissues are a group of similar cells with what intercellular substances and which perform a specific function. So in 9th class we have studied that tissue is a group of cells having same origin and doing same function. Okay, so in animals there are only 4 basic types of tissues. These tissues are organized to form what? Different organs like stomach, okay, lungs, heart, all these are formed by the organization of these 4 basic types of tissues. And these tissues, they aggregate, okay, they group together to form the organ system. So there are different types of organ system like digestive system, respiratory system, okay, so all this are there. And you can see that cells, tissues, organs and organ system, they split up the work in a way that exhibits division of labor. Division of labor means what? That work is divided among the different type of tissues. Okay, so like this you can see that different tissues are doing different functions, and they all together to form what? Organs, and organs form the organ system. Okay, so there are different types of tissues. I said there are 4 different types of tissues in animals. They are what? They are epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues, and neural tissues. Is it clear? So let's study each of this in detail. Epithelial tissues are commonly known as epithelium, and the main function of this is what? It acts as a covering or a lining for some part of the body. Okay, and the speciality of this is there will be very less intercellular matrix. Okay, and they are of 2 types mainly. They are simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Okay, this we have studied in 9th class. Simple epithelium means what? They are having only one layer of cells, single layer of cells. Compound epithelium means they are made up of 2 or more cell layers. Okay, and their main function is what? They are protective in function. Okay, they help in the protection of the body as what it is doing in our skin. Okay, and simple epithelium mainly we can find in our in the lining of our body cavities and ducts. Okay, so like what? The digestive system is a cavity, isn't it? It contains a cavity, so this cavity will be lined by simple epithelium. Understood? Then there are different types of epithelium, or the epithelial tissues are modified based on the function they have to do, and they are squamous epithelium, cuboidal, and columnar. Depends upon what? Depends upon the shape of the cells. Okay, they are differentiated, or there are 3 different types of epithelial tissues. What are they? Squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. Okay, you can see the diagrams. Okay, see here, A is squamous, B cuboidal. Okay, and you can see C is columnar, this one, and D is columnar cells with what? Cilia. Okay, columnar cells. See, you can see here the squamous epithelium, they are very thin, they are very tile like. Okay, tiles you have seen, no, there is no thickness, so just like that, very thin type of cells. Cube means what? Their cells are cube shaped. Okay, columnar means they are elongated, their length is more or height is more than their thickness. Okay, and if there are cilia, then it is known as ciliated epithelium. Is it clear? So depends upon the shape of the cells, they are of different types. So the squamous epithelium are found in the walls of blood vessels, air sacs of lungs. Okay, and I told they are very thin, so they help in the process of diffusion, or they form a diffusion boundary. Okay, then cuboidal epithelium, they are their cells are, I told, cube like, and they are found where? In the ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephrons in kidney. Okay, and the main function of them are secretion and absorption. Okay, so squamous epithelium, they forms what? Diffusion boundary means where the materials can get diffused easily, and in cuboidal epithelium, what they form? The part where secretion and absorption takes place. Okay, then what? Columnar epithelium. Okay, I told the cells are taller than their thickness, and their nuclei you can find where? At the base of them, and the free surface of them where they are not attached to the other tissues, they may have some microvilli. Villi are what? Finger like projections. Microvilli means very small type of villi. Okay, and where you can see in the lining of stomach and intestine, and they are also helping in secretion and absorption. Okay, and if the columnar cells are having cilia on their free surface, they will be called as what? Ciliated epithelium, and these type of ciliated epithelium, I told they are having hairs, and this hairs, their movement, the movement of this hairs will help to move particles or mucus in a particular direction. As this hairs moves, what will happen? They sweep the mucus or particles in one direction only. Okay, so you can see them in the hollow organs like bronchioles. Do you remember bronchioles? What is that? Parts of respiratory system, isn't it? And fallopian tube is what? The part of female reproductive system. So this movement of the cilia will help to move the ovum or egg which is released from the ovum to go in one direction. Okay, so these are the different types of what epithelial tissues. Now the glands are formed by the columnar cells and cuboidal cells when they are getting specialized, okay, for secretion. They are called what? Glandular epithelium. Okay, so columnar cells and cuboidal cells, epithelial cells, they get specialized for secretion, and now we can call them as what? Glandular epithelium. Okay, and this glandular epithelium are of two types. What are they? Unicellular. They consist of what? Isolated cells. Okay, they are not forming a gland like structure, but each individual cell will be able to produce the secretion. Okay, example is what? Goblet cells of alimentary canal. Okay, then sometimes what happen? They form a gland like structure. Okay, like what? Salivary gland or liver. Okay, so sometimes what happen? This kind of cells, they aggregate to form glands. Sometimes they are simply unicellular. Okay, and glands, you can know, you have learned that they are of two types. What are they? Exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Exocrine gland secretions includes what? Mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes, etc. And what is the definition that we have studied in exocrine glands? Those glands which are having what? Ducts, isn't it? So if there are ducts for the gland to release their secretions, they are known as what? Exocrine glands. And endocrine glands, on the other hand, they are not having any ducts to release their secretions, isn't it? So can you give examples of endocrine glands? We have studied in class 10th, isn't it? What are the endocrine glands? Pancreas, isn't it? Then do you remember? Pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid gland, all this we have studied, no? So these are examples for endocrine glands. Okay, so so I told simple epithelium is made up of only one layer of cells, but compound epithelium, they are made up of more than one layer of cells. Okay, so their main function is to give protection, okay, to the body against what? Chemicals and mechanical stresses. And the surfaces of buccal cavity, pharynx, okay, then inner lining of ducts of salivary glands or pancreatic ducts, etc. In all these regions you can see what? The compound epithelium. Is it clear? As I told, in the epithelial tissues are with very less intercellular material. Okay, so in animal tissues you can see that the cells where the junction of cells, okay, means the space in between two adjacent cells, you can find what? 3 different types of junctions. Okay, they are tight junctions, adhering junctions, and gap junctions. Okay, so tight junctions means what? There is no scope for any any exchange of materials. Okay, they help to stop substances from leaking across a tissue. Okay, they are tight, they will not allow any movement. Adhering junctions means what? They perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. Okay, they are what? Adhering junctions help to what? Keep the cells tight, okay, or keep the cells together. Then gap junctions are the junctions where what? The cells will be allowed to communicate with each other, okay, with the help of what? The extending cytoplasm of the adjacent cells. Okay, so this helps the rapid transfer of ions, molecules, etc. So what are junctions? junctions are what? The space, or you can say the space between adjacent cells, okay, in animal tissues. And there are three types of junctions. What are they? Tight junctions, adhering junctions, and gap junctions, which help in the transfer of materials between the two cells. Gap junctions, isn't it? So about epithelial tissues, you understood? Epithelial tissues are what? They are mainly found in what? Around the linings of the body, isn't it? Various cavities of the body, and the major function is what? Secretion, then diffusion, absorption, protection, etc. Is it clear? Then there are depends upon the shape of the cells. They are of different types: squamous, cuboidal, and columnar, isn't it? And depends upon the number of layers. They are of two types. What are they? Simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Okay, so all this is clear to you, I hope, because we have studied this in 9th class also. So the next group of tissue is what? Connective tissue. So connective tissue, from the name itself it is there. They connect what? Different, okay, different types of organs or tissues. Okay, they connect and help in the support, or they help to support other tissues. Okay, so there are different types of connective tissues, like what? Cartilage, bone, okay, adipose, and blood. These are all what? Specialized, okay, specialized type. Okay, and there are what? Other type of tissues also, other types of connective tissues also. Okay, and in common, if you see the connective tissues character, they secrete, okay, the certain structural proteins called collagen or elastin. Okay, they produce what? Certain proteins called collagen or elastin, and these fibers, okay, are helping, or they provide strength, elasticity to the tissue. Okay, the fibers are what? Actually structural proteins. Okay, this cells, these are cell tissue na. Tissue is made up of what? Cells. So the cells produce, okay, what? Fibers of structural proteins called collagen or elastin, and these fibers provide what? Strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissues. Okay, and they also produce certain polysaccharides, and this get accumulated between the cells and fibers, and this act as the matrix. So in common, you can see that in a connective tissue, what will be there? A matrix will be there. Okay, then fibers will be there. Okay, and what? In between the cells and this what? Fibers, the matrix will be found. So cells will be the living cells, okay, and matrix will not be living, and the cell secretes certain fibers called what? Collagen and elastin. They are also not living. Understood? So connective tissues can be divided into loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissues, like what? Cartilage, bone, blood. All these are what? Specialized type. So let's study each of that in detail. So in loose connective tissue, okay, the cells, I told, in connective tissues there will be a matrix, cells, and fibers. Matrix is not living, which is secreted by what? Cells, isn't it? And fibers are also secreted by the cells. And you can see the cells and fibers will be arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance. Okay, so in loose connective tissue, the matrix will be semi-fluid. So examples of this are areolar connective tissue, okay, and areolar connective tissue and adipose tissue. So areolar connective tissue, where you can see under the skin, okay, and you can see that it is acting as a support for the epithelium, okay, and the cells of them are known as fibroblast, okay, because they produce what? Fibers, and other cells are macrophages and mast cells. Mast cells and macrophages. These are what actually? Macrophages and mast cells. And then what? Fibroblasts. These are the cells of what? Areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is what? A kind of loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue means what? The matrix is semi-fluid. In that, cells and fibers are arranged loosely. Okay. And then another kind of loose connective tissue is what? The adipose tissue. Okay. Adipose tissue. And this adipose tissue is also a kind of loose connective tissue. And where you can see them under the skin. Understood? And their main function is what? To store the fat. Okay. That is, if we eat something, what will happen if they are not utilized immediately? Then what? It will be converted to fats, and that can be stored in the adipose tissues. Is it clear? Then, so second type of connective tissue is what? Dense connective tissue. So dense connective tissue means what? Fibers and fibroblasts will be compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. Okay. And if the orientation of these fibers are regular, okay, then we call it as what? Dense regular tissues. And if it is irregularly arranged, you can see the diagram here. Here the fibers in the diagram A, you can see the fibers are arranged in a very systematic way, isn't it? So like this, if it is, then it is dense regular connective tissue. Examples of dense regular connective tissue is tendon and ligament. Have you heard about tendon and ligament? Tendon, what they do? They connect muscles to bones. Okay. And ligaments, they connect bones to bone. So they are examples for dense regular connective tissue. Okay. Dense irregular connective tissue means what? Here you can see the fibroblast. Okay. Or fibers, they won't be arranged in a regular pattern. So this tissue you can see in the skin. Okay. So these are what? Dense connective tissue. Dense connective tissue means what? Here the fibers and the cells, they are arranged very compactly. But if they are in a regular pattern, then we call it as what? Dense regular tissue. And if they are not in a regular pattern, then dense irregular tissues. Is it clear? Then we are going to study the what? Specialized type of connective tissues. Okay. Specialized connective tissues examples are what? Cartilage, bone and blood. Okay. So when you see the specialized tissues, they include what? Cartilage, bone and blood. So cartilage, the matrix is very solid. Okay. And it is not so hard as what? The bone's matrix. And the cells of this are known as chondrocytes. What are they? Chondrocytes. Have you studied about chondrichthyes and osteichthyes in Pisces? So I told bony fishes and what? Cartilaginous fishes. Isn't it? Cartilaginous fishes were also known as chondrichthyes. So now you understood now how chondrichthyes name came, because cartilage, the cells of the cartilage are known as what? Chondrocytes. And you can see that this is the matrix. This is the matrix of this. Okay. This is the matrix, and in the matrix you can see a cavity, and in this cavities only the cells will be present, and the cells are what? Known as chondrocytes. Okay. Then this cartilage you can see in the embryonic stage mainly, and there it will be replaced when they by bones. Okay, when they become adult. And we can see cartilage in our in the tip of the nose, then ear joints between adjacent bones of the vertebral columns. Okay, limbs, hands, etc. in adults. Otherwise, in embryonic stage, what? Cartilage will be the major skeletal tissue. Okay. Then next is what? Bones. Bones, if you see, you can see the matrix will be very hard. Okay, this is the matrix and it will be very hard. okay, because of the presence of calcium and phosphorus salts, okay. And then you can see the cells of them are known as osteocytes. What are they? Osteocytes. And this osteocytes are present in the spaces called what? Lacunae. So you can see here what this one cut-like structure, isn't it? These are actually what? The space in which you can see the osteocytes. Okay, this is what the lacunae in which only you can see the osteocytes, and this lacunae or osteocytes are arranged in concentric rings. Okay, you can see them, they are arranged in concentric rings. Okay, and you can see that this osteocytes will be in a cavity. That cavity is known as what? Lacunae. Okay, and this lacunae and the osteocytes in them will form concentric rings. You can see here. Okay, these forms the concentric rings. Okay, and the bonds protect the internal organs. They give what? The standard structure, or they give some place for the attachment of muscles, etc. Isn't it? And they are the major site for the process of formation of WBCs, RBCs, etc. In the bone marrow only what happened? WBCs and RBCs are formed. Then the next type of specialized connective tissue is what? Blood. You know, the matrix of blood is fluid in nature and it is known as the blood plasma, and there are what? RBCs, WBCs and platelets in them. Okay, and the main function of this is what? RBC helps to carry oxygen, WBCs help to fight against the microorganisms or any infections, and platelets main function is they help in the clotting of blood. Okay, and they help, this blood is helping in the circulation of various substances around the body. Okay, so these are what? Connective tissue. So connective tissues, I told what are the three types of connective tissues. Loose connective tissue example is areolar connective tissue and adipose tissue. Dense connective tissue, I told two types are there. What are they? Regular and irregular. Regular's example is what? The tendon and ligament. Okay, specialized connective tissues example is what? Cartilage, bone and blood. So is it clear about the connective tissue? Now next is what? The muscular tissues, muscle tissues. Okay, muscle tissues are made up of cells known as, okay, the cells of muscular tissues are known as what? Muscle fibers, and this muscle fibers are specialized cells which can respond to stimulation by contracting, okay, and then relaxing. Okay, so this is due to the presence of certain fibers in the cytoplasm of them known as myofibrils. Okay, so that the cells of muscles are known as what? Muscle fibers. They contains what? Myofibrils, certain rod shaped proteins called myofibrils. Okay, then, and there are three different types of muscle tissues or muscular tissues. They are skeletal tissues, smooth muscles and cardiac tissues. Okay, so skeletal tissues, if you see, they are seen attached to the skeletal system. Okay, like what? The tissues like the tissues which is present in the biceps. Okay, and if you see, you can see that they are striated. Okay, striated means what? You can see the striations or bands, dark and light bands you can see in them. Understood? And they are cylindrical in shape. Okay, and you can see that they are voluntary muscles. Means what? They are also known as voluntary muscles. Why they are known as voluntary muscles? Because they work according to our will. If we want to move them, they can move. Understood? If our will says, our mind, brain says, then it can move. So they are known as voluntary muscles. Okay. Then next one is what? The smooth muscles. You can see here, their shape is what? Spindle shape. Both the ends are pointed. They are uninucleated and they are not having any striations. Unstriated muscles. They are also known as unstriated muscles, and they will not work according to our will. They work what continuously, or when means not according to our will. So they are known as involuntary muscles. So these are what? Skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles, and these are involuntary, means not according to our will this works. Okay, this type of tissues will not work according to our will. So they are known as what? Involuntary muscles. Okay, so these are found where? In blood vessels, stomach, intestine, etc. And the movement of this type of these parts of the body is not according to our will, isn't it? Blood vessels, we are not thinking or we are not knowing about that. So that's what they are known as involuntary muscles. Then the last is what? The cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are only found in where? In the heart. Okay, in heart only you can see. They are also cylindrical in shape, but you can see that they are branched. Okay, branched, and they are also striated type of tissues, and they work continuously without any rest. If this type of muscles work stops their work, what will happen? You can just imagine, isn't it? So these are what they will never get tired. They will work continuously, isn't it? Before the birth of a person, this type of muscle starts until the end of the life. They continuously work without any rest. So can be asked, okay, to compare the different types of muscular tissues. What are they? Skeletal tissues, okay, then what? Smooth muscles and cardiac tissues. Okay, so striations you can see where? In the skeletal muscles and in the cardiac muscles. They are cylindrical, both are cylindrical, but the cardiac muscles are branched. Okay, so these are the different types of muscles. Understood? What is the cell of muscular tissue known as? Muscle fiber, because they are elongated, isn't it? It is just like a these all are animal cells only, but they are specialized to perform different functions, and they are elongated, so we call it as what? Muscle fiber. Then the last type of animal tissues, what? Neural tissues. Okay, so neural tissues includes what? The basic unit of them will be neurons. Okay, what is the speciality of neuron? Do you remember the structure of neuron? It will have a elongated part known as axon. Then they will have a cell body with the cytoplasm and nucleus, and numerous extensions from the cell body known as dendrons or dendrites. Okay, and you can see that this axon will be protected by, in some of the neurons, they are protected by myelin sheath. You have learned this in 9th class, isn't it? Then you can see that the neuroglial cell constitute, or they protect and support the neurons, and they make the more than 1/2 of the volume of the neural tissue. Okay, and what is the speciality of this nervous system or neural tissue? They are excitable ones. Okay, they can get stimulated, and any stimulus can cause what? An electrical disturbance, which will generate a nerve impulse, and this nerve impulse can pass along its plasma membrane, and it can get passed to or it can pass this disturbance or nerve impulse to the next neuron through the synapse. Understood? So like this they can pass the nerve impulse. So these type of tissues, what is the speciality? They can get stimulated by the external stimulus. Okay, and this stimulus or disturbance can create the nerve impulse, and this nerve impulse will be conducted from one neuron to the next neuron. So about various animal tissues you understood now. So I have told you about 4 different types of animal tissues in this today's video. That is what epithelial tissues, then second is connective tissues, okay, third muscular tissues and neural tissues. Okay, so this much you have to learn from this chapter. Hope you understood this topics very nicely. Please go through the textbook thoroughly, okay, and learn for objective type questions also. Thank you.